Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Walter.
And I'm Susan Wheeler.
And we are so excited to share with you today in our Shooting for Director group or Crystal Director Reset group, our call that we did, our training call for the week. So some of you missed out on my training call that I do on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern. And some of you missed out on Sue's call that she did last night, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. But now next week it's changed, correct?
It's going to be at 8:15.
8:15 for the next several weeks, till we finish up, okay? So your choices are Mondays, 2 p.m. Eastern, or Wednesdays, 8:15 p.m. So we decided we'd record it for those of you that couldn't be with us. So thank you for agreeing to spend some more time with us. And I want you to kind of kick things off with your preparation.
Okay. Well, when I did my call last night, I wanted to make sure everybody was on board and had what they needed. So you should have one of these on your desk, a Crystal Executive Map. And of course, we're going to Director, but right after that, we're going to Executive. So have this on your desk. And of course, something to drink so you don't have to leave and get a drink during our little meeting. And of course, an Icy Delight. And this week it's buy 3, get 1 free.
I know. I am going to buy 8 because I saw someone post when you do the 6, you get the extra 10% plus 2 free. And I'm like, that's quite a deal. Plus, then you don't have the cooler program either.
Oh.
I think 8 boxes might get me through the summer.
Unfortunately, I don't think 8 boxes would get me through the summer. I'll eat one before I work out.
Yeah.
I eat one for dessert. That's 2 a day. So that's $60 a month right there. Then if I'm cleansing,
you better buy 16 boxes.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more, but that's a good deal. Okay.
All right. So these are these are the 4 topics we talked about with our coaching calls this week. And the first one is mindset. And Sue and I can both tell you that we are involved in mindset training, personal development every single day. For me, it is when I am getting ready. So I'll do my workout in the morning, and while I'm showering and getting ready, everything except blow drying my hair because I couldn't hear it, I am listening to a Jeffrey Combs podcast, an Eric Worre podcast, something from Susan Sly, whatever I can get my hands on, constantly, every single day, reminding myself to have a positive mindset, to let things go, etc. You can attest to the same, right?
Same thing when I'm running. That's kind of when I'm plugging in, or when I'm driving, I'm plugging in. I drowned out my kids, their music that's plugged in, that's too loud that I can hear anyway. So,
yep.
But yeah, always.
So it's very, very important. And I know like a lot of the objections that we get, especially new people when you're starting off, a lot of it has to do with our mindset. And we get so emotionally attached to people that say no, or they're not ready. And we take it way too seriously and way too personally. So when you're constantly doing personal development, and the more you listen to and the more you learn, you realize it's not about you. And if someone says no, you don't need to take it so personally. And you don't need to feel like giving up, because we all are told no. The more people you talk to, the more no's you get. So Sue and I have had a ton of no's, guys, an absolute ton of no's. And in the beginning, in the early days, it did hurt. And now, honestly, the way I look at it is, okay, who's next? Who's next? I'll stay in touch with my no's, not nows, my maybes, because they'll probably come back around pretty soon. But who's next? Who can I help? Anything else you want to share about mindset before we move on?
Yeah, I think it's a decision. And I think a lot of times the people get into this business and they see the potential, but they don't really see it in themselves. Or they might see it in themselves, but they haven't made that decision to put blinders on and focus and don't get distracted. And I was listening to a great podcast about decisions. And when you make a decision, nothing is going to stop you. Mm-hmm. But if you haven't made that decision, any little bump in the road, it's going to distract you.
Yep.
So things happen. People say to me, I'm a mother of 4, a grandmother of 7. I've got a daughter who plays AAU basketball. We do a lot of running around, practicing, traveling, games, etc. with that. We have an organic farm. My husband has his own business. So I essentially run 3 businesses from my home. I don't do all the farming, but I do all the book work, etc. And I have an ailing mom. I have a lot of distractions. but I am still focused on my business. When I have something I have to do, I do it. But when I'm working on my business, and it's because I made a decision, this is my business. So, there are times when there are things that I have to decide, gosh, I'm going to miss a championship game, but I've got a conference to go to. I go to the conference. I get to all the games that you have to kind of make choices. And if you're going to let those distractions get in the way, you haven't made a decision. Yeah. So this is all about mindset.
Yeah, and this is something we bump into all the time. People are, they say they're committed on a scale of 1 to 10, a 10 in the business, but yet something comes up and they're so quick to cancel on a meeting, on a conference, on a Super Saturday, whatever the case may be. And yes, your family is definitely your priority here. We all have families, and our families are priorities. But there's some times that I have to make a sacrifice, and I have to miss a game. I have 4 kids too, and sometimes I miss an event or a game. It's not the championship, state tournament, varsity game. I would never miss something like that. But if it's an elementary or junior high game, or we've got a million games coming up and I'm missing one, I can do that because I am committed to my business, to my team, to you. So yeah, that's so much of it is mindset and a decision and a commitment. And how committed are you? You guys are in this group because you told us you are committed to getting to director by May 14th. You've got some of you have a little bit of work to do, some of you have a lot of work to do, but you have the decision and the choice to say, I'm committed, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put those, help me out, those blinders on and stay focused. Thank you. Okay. Number 2, enrolling. So Sue put out, asking what kind of questions we can help you guys with. And I know on my call, I opened it up for questions. Not sure if you did too, I think. And we're getting some basic questions that really don't pertain to how do I create consultants. We're getting more, how do I handle objections, more very basic things. So we definitely feel like we need to take a little bit of a step back, talk about enrolling and how important enrolling is, but we need to get you guys moving quickly because creating consultants is what's going to get you to director. So you have to be enrolling, absolutely, but you have to be able to deal with objections. You have to be able to talk to people, ask questions. I know for me, for enrolling, the way I look at this is I ask a lot of questions. I find out what people's goals are, find out what the holes are, where they need my help, how I have a solution, which solution can I offer them. So what do you want to share about enrolling that might help people that are struggling a little bit?
I think people will ask me often, what do you say to someone? And my answer is always, I can't tell you that because it's a conversation. What do they say to you? So it's really asking questions, because think about all the stuff we have to offer, how excited we are. We've got these fabulous products for weight loss, healthy aging, energy and performance. We have this fantastic comp plan, which has so many facets. So where do you start, what do you start telling? And if you start telling people everything, then they might want to know something different. And people don't even need to know that much to get started. So it's really not them, it's really us. And if you just think of how many people start, whatever it is without knowing, what, we're overcomplicating it. We think we have to tell them everything. Right. And when people ask me, what do you say? They want to know probably 5 or 6 sentences of what you can say. Take all of Isagenix, all the products, all the comp plan, the company, the culture, and put it into 6 sentences and tell somebody that. It's unrealistic.
It's very individual. You have to really do a lot of asking questions. And so some of the questions you guys asked us, we can certainly get to, but that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this group is how do I create consultants? So the enrolling part, if you need help with enrolling, that's where you get your upline leaders on 3-way phone calls to help you. So if you have a lead, but you're not quite sure what to say yet, you're new, ask for help. That's where we can get, you can get on the phone with 3-way calls calls with your upline leader, and they can help you work through those things, answer questions. How the program works with Weight Watchers was a question we saw. Those are things that, if you aren't comfortable with, talk to someone, get some help with that. Talk to your upline leader and let them help you, because that is the first step. You've got to get past that stuff, get to the enrolling to be able to create consultants, which is what you require doing in order to become a director and an executive.
Exactly. And my suggestion there is get on a couple three-way calls, because in the very beginning, I did not know what to say to people.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't asking questions. I didn't know what to say. And I got on the phone with our upline and did a couple three-ways, and just hearing it, I was like, oh, okay.
I can do that.
This. Yeah, exactly. So definitely do that, because that's the first thing you should do. If you're not comfortable, the best way to learn is get on a three-way call.
And listen to podcasts. So do some mindset coaching, because that's super, super important. But if you're so new that you're not quite sure how to talk to people yet, get on the Isagenix podcast. Listen to the product podcast. Listen to all that basic stuff and get yourself knowledgeable. You'll see practice it doesn't make perfect. We're never perfect, but it gets easier and easier the more you practice, the more you talk to people. But use your upline. That's what we're here for. We've got so many tremendous leaders on this team. Ask upline, who can help me with a three-way call? We're here to help. All right. So now, number 3, creating consultants. So what I was sharing the other night, and then certainly pipe in, Sue, and share what you shared, and it might be the same exact thing told differently. But number 1, tell people immediately. When I enroll someone brand new, I say to them, you're going to have results right away from being on the program. And when you do, and people start to ask, you have a choice. If you want to get referrals, absolutely, you can get referrals. We have a great referral reward program. You can, if you want nothing to do with that, you can just pass on the referral to me, or you can decide that you might want to do this as a business. You have 3 choices, and I'm here to help you no matter, what you choose to do. So I tell people immediately, I'll say something like this. You may never want to do the business quite like I do, but if you have people that are asking you and they want to try the program, I would love to talk to them. I'll help them. I'll coach with them. But I want you to get the referral reward, because I never would have met them if it weren't for you. Would you like a discount on your products? Plain and simple. Who says no to that? Who says I don't want free groceries? No one. So once they get going, they get their ISA wallet card. The next thing you know, they're like, okay, I just had $200 loaded on my card. Can you explain this to me? And then I'll explain it to them. And then we'll start talking a little bit deeper about you plus 2, them plus 2, and getting a little bit more. I don't go into the whole comp plan when I first meet with someone, but I let them know the opportunity is there. You do the same?
Yeah, absolutely. And I do find there was some questions last night. The questions were, people want to get results before they start sharing. So this is what worries me a little bit. We only have till May 14th to get to Crystal Director. And of course, if you miss that, there's also Executive, but we want to get as many of you there. It's $750. So the results, if we're talking about enrolling people, right?
Right.
We don't have a heck of a lot of time to get them enrolled, for their product to come, for them to have results, for them to talk to people.
Yep.
Now, there are going to be people right away that you could say, and this is where the PK training, if anybody's doing that, he gets them to consultant right away. He'll get the husband or the wife started, and there's kind of a whole system for that. So I do ask people right away when they get started, do you know anyone that wants to do this with you? And if so, you can get some thank you rewards and rebates, or whatever word you want to use, back on your products. And they think, oh, geez, I could do this with my sister, or my best friend wants to lose weight, or whatever it might be.
And also, I just say it's so much more fun to do something like this with your friends. So do you have anyone that you've done, you've gone to exercise classes together, or you've done a program together, any kind of a diet together in the past? Think of people that you might want to do this with. And, I have someone right now that she's been using the program herself for a few years. And all of a sudden now she started talking about it at work, and all the nurses are wanting to do it together now. How fun is that when you work with people and now you're all doing the program together? So instant referral rewards. And then, of course, that creates consultants. So tell people immediately. Number two, go back to people who have achieved results. If you have people you've already enrolled that have seen any type of a result, whether, and it doesn't have to be weight. Now, we have weight loss so ingrained in our brain, but how about people that just have more energy? I mean, Sue didn't have much weight to lose when she got started with Isagenix, but she had more energy. She was aging more gracefully. So any kind of results that your clients have had, go back to those people and ask them and say, has anyone noticed? Has anyone noticed your results? Anyone that has asked you about it that you might want to loop back around? We can do a 3-way call. We can invite them to our HHP product page. You do the same?
Yeah. So results, and I also look to see what they have in their back office. So I'm in my back office every day, many times a day, looking not just at my first line, but their people, etc., and seeing who is ordering more than 100 volume. Because 100 volume, you guys, isn't very much. That's 4 canisters of shakes in a month. Okay. And if you're doing the Ionic Supreme, if you're throwing a cleanse in there,
vitamins,
got our Isodelites, now all our amped products. I don't even know what I spend a month. I don't want to know. But we use it. It's groceries.
Right.
You know, that's what we use. Yep. But my point is, if I was personally, just for what I use, I really should add up what the BV would be for me, but I use so many of the products, you know, the vitamins, the shakes, I do the Ionics, I do the E-shots, I use the Knox products, the Amped line, all the
skincare,
you know, so I use it all. So if someone like me was just a customer using all these products, you might look and say, oh my gosh, Susan is ordering 1,000 volume a month.
Yeah.
And she only needs 100. So she could sign up her 4 children, her 7 grandchildren.
And everybody would be getting referral rewards.
Everybody. But the point is, if someone is ordering more than 100 volume, you know, much more, like 200 or 300, they can break that down. Right. So say I was ordering 300, and Cindy said to me, Susan, you're ordering 300 volume a month. Is your husband using the products? And I'll say, well, yeah, he likes to drink the shakes, so I've been, you know, giving him some of my shakes. Cindy would tell me, Susan, let's set Matt up with an account, and you can order under him. And hey, I know that you walk with your sister, and she's in, you know, would she be interested? Boom, there's a consultant.
Exactly.
So that's what you have to do. You have to strategically, because then also there really is looking at people's volume. And that's like a whole training in itself that I think you need to share your screen and really go in and show them. But if anyone doesn't understand it and they have some questions, send a message. I'm sure you're okay too looking at stuff, aren't you?
Yeah. And that was number 3 for me under creating consultants, was go through every personally enrolled and then message or call them, pick up the phone. So doing what Sue just said, looking to see how much volume they're ordering. I do this often. I just did this yesterday with some people. I saw what they were doing and I sent them a message. Do you know if you get one more person, you're going to cycle 7 times? You have so much stored volume. So that is a whole nother call. We'll probably train on that. Maybe next week we'll do that. But go through every personally enrolled that you already have, because you might create an instant consultant just by telling them they're ordering so much in volume. It doesn't make sense for them not to get 2 people, and then they can start making a little bit of money back on their products they're already ordering.
Right.
All right. And number 4 is dealing with objections. So I think this will help some of the people that had these questions that were not really creating consultants, but more, you know, objections. So the first objection, really the only objection that I deal with ever is the cost. And I'm so comfortable explaining it. It's really become a non-issue for me. But is that something your people struggle with, hearing the cost objection?
I think they do, but I really think when there's a cost objection, it boils down to how we feel.
Yep.
So
our mindset around cost.
Yeah, it really does, because it's the value. I mean, I live in the country and we have lots of fairs, country fairs, and people will buy a $7 or $8 piece of fried dough. It's just a piece of dough. It's flour and water. And they'll spend $7 or $8 on that. and think nothing of it, right?
Yeah.
But a healthy shake for $3, and I don't know. I think it's a mindset thing. There's honestly nothing else that I would rather have for breakfast or lunch. Really.
Really. Yeah.
I love a great dinner, but during the day, I just love my shakes. That's what I want. It's been 4 years, and I've been drinking 2 shakes a day for 4 years, not because I have to, but because I want to.
Right.
And I really think that if you kind of have anything, search in yourself, if you have that price objection, or you felt uncomfortable about getting a social security number or giving a social security number, you have to really look back at yourself and see, is that my problem? Am I projecting that? But I think the value, $3, there's nowhere I'm going to get a meal for $3.
And honestly, with all the people that we've coached in the 4 years we've been doing this, so many times people will say to me, I have no issues with the cost of our products, but yet they run into the price objection over and over and over again. And then when I'll say, really look at, tell me, how do you feel about the cost? Tell me the value. They're not so, what Sue just projected to you guys, they're not that strong in their belief that the value is there. That's when they struggle. So you have to get yourself to a place where you totally are a 10 out of 10 on your belief that this is worth a $3 meal. I use this comparison a lot because a lot of people are coffee people and they swing through Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or whatever your favorite is, and they'll spend $5 on a latte. I spend $5 on a latte when I can get a whole entire meal for $3. So it's really just educating yourself, doing it enough that you're comfortable, that it doesn't, when someone asks you about the cost, you're not like, you're afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it. One of the things that someone taught us way back when was ask people how much they're spending a day. So I will do that. If cost is an issue, I'll say, well, tell me, let's talk about your spending issue, your spending habits. What do you spend for breakfast and lunch, snacks and drinks each day? Do you go through a Starbucks in the morning? Do you eat lunch out? What are your eating habits? Oftentimes people will come back and they'll say, somewhere between $10 and $20, $25 a day. So often our kids will save them money. If they're spending $25 a day because they swing out through Starbucks for breakfast, they're eating out for lunch, they can do our President's Pack and still save money. So it's really asking questions and being very, very strong in your belief that the value of this is incredible.
And the other thing too is, so at $3 a meal, it's not a big deal. At $5 a latte, it's not a big deal. But if you had to write a check at the beginning of the month and pay for your lattes
for a whole month,
you'd say, yikes, right?
Right.
So you have to think of it this way too. When someone's getting started and they have a price objection, maybe money is an issue. Let's help them get 2 people started right away. So by the time their credit card bill comes in, that they're ready to go. And even if you've noticed, when someone starts, say they have a price objection and they haven't enrolled anyone, they haven't become a consultant, but by the time their auto ship comes, the price objection is gone, because now they've saved all that money during the month and they see results and they see the value in the product. So going forward, it's not every month. And there's a couple times you'll get somebody that says, I just can't afford to do this for whatever reason. But typically, once that first order is placed, there's no price objection.
Right.
Because they see the value in the products, they've saved money. So it really is just a matter of getting through. I believe in my heart. I say to people all the time, if the compensation plan went away, I would still buy these products.
Me too.
They changed my life. I would find a different business if I had to, but I would buy these products. They're amazing.
Yeah. And one more thing I want to say on that before we move on is what Sue just said about moving them into a consultant role right away is what I do. There are people legitimately that can't afford any additional expenses. Okay. So for those people that genuinely, that it's not an excuse, that it's not a cop out, they really have money issues. I do exactly what Sue says. And I'll say, why don't we schedule a launch party? Why don't we have a party in your home We'll get all kinds of people excited about it. We'll enroll them. And then by the time we get you enrolled, your card comes, you might even be a manager. You might be a director. What?
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah. Are you okay? You're going like this.
I know, but you were like,
oh, technical difficulties.
I got worried.
Oh, my face gets awful.
Your hair's so pretty, but your face did not look good.
Oh, geez. Well, I'm glad it didn't get stuck that way. Okay, so that's what I do. The same exact thing. So for people who genuinely have issues around money, let's help them get their products paid for. Then they'll never ever have to worry about paying for products again. And gosh, if they're having financial issues, don't you want to help them financially too? Now maybe they can start making some money to help pay some of their debts off. So, okay, the other objection that I see a lot when promoting consultants is there's some people that we will enroll that won't actually want referral rewards and won't want to promote and won't want to do this. So what do we do with those people, Sue?
We just love them.
Love them.
We love them because so many people are customers. Mm-hmm. And we need customers. And so we just love them. We get them great results. And you never know.
Right.
Because most people, we just did an ICU in New Jersey, and they asked how many people started. You and I went in with the business first and foremost. And we thought, gosh, let's see how the products are. Not really. But, right. We knew we wanted to do the business. But most people, hands went up, product users.
Yep.
That never wanted anything to do with the business. Some of them are millionaires today.
Exactly.
Just, going to point that out. So don't think, they don't want to do it and they're this or that. That's fine. Mm-hmm. They want to lose 10 pounds. Do your best to help them lose 10 pounds.
Yep. And you don't have to get all upset with them if they're not interested in doing it. So many people are like, help me. How do I get them to see? How do I get them to want to become a consultant? What do I do? What do I say? How do I? How do I? And it's like, not everybody wants it, guys. We have to be okay with that. We have to let it go. I've had people that I have enrolled that could be absolute superstars. I know how to catch talent now. I know if someone's got the juice, as Jeffrey Combs would say. I can tell. And I've had people I've enrolled with that juice that aren't doing anything at all with the business. I can't lie awake at night being upset about that. It's not their time. It's not right for them right now. They're not interested. If I try to drag them along and try to help them get 2 people so that I promote to director, it just doesn't work. So dragging people around is just not a good use of your time. Let it go. Keep loving on them. Don't just love them now. Keep loving on them. Stay in touch with them. You never know when their circumstances might change down the road. All right.
Yeah.
How about, we talked about referral rewards and rebates, but I think one thing that we can do that will really help us with promoting consultants is really making it about them. So we know you're all going for director, or you may be executive going for director reset for the second time. Yes, you want to set your goals, write your goals down, have that bubble chart in front of you that Sue pointed out to you in the beginning of the call. But if you make it about them, you want them to not have to pay for their products. You want them to get free groceries. Make it about them, and boy, things can really change.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I had someone ask me the other day that she asked me if she should tell someone that, needed to get one more person, hey, I've got a goal. If you get one, I don't know. I mean, it depends on who it is. I could say that to you. I could say, Cindy, if you do this, this will help me, and you would do it because we're friends. Mm-hmm. But you have to be really careful with that. And the bottom line is this, and you say this quote all the time, so go ahead, Cindy, say it.
If you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want.
And when you take yourself out of the equation, it feels so much better, and it feels like letting go. It's hard to explain, but when you're really helping other people and you take your own goals or whatever aside, you're genuinely giving to them And that's going to move them forward. So I think so many of us are thinking, I need. I never say that. I need. I deserve. I require. I'm committed to.
And that's my number 3. That was my number 3. We aren't convincing and we don't want to sound desperate. And we hear that a lot. How do I get them motivated? How do I get them to enroll? How do I get them to consultant?
Like this, ponytails.
Yeah. And it sounds like we're desperate when we talk with those words. I know when I started coaching with Jeffrey Combs, and you guys can listen to his free podcasts on Podomatic, Podomatic. He's wonderful with this, but I made a sticky sheet of all the words that he can't stand hearing. And they're those desperation words: need, get. Those are the words he says you have to get out of your vocabulary because it attracts negativity. And so we want to not convince people to do this. We want to encourage, support. We want to inspire. We don't want to sound desperate. We don't want to come across desperate. And I know you have a deadline fastly approaching, but we don't want that deadline to be so making you so desperate that you're trying to drag everybody into this. We want you to help other people. You help other people with their health, help other people get their products paid for, even if they don't want to really do the business like you're doing it. Help them. They'll promote, and then you'll promote because of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's it. Those were the 4 things we wanted to talk about: mindset, enrolling, creating consultants, and dealing with objections. Anything else you want to chat about before we?
No, but I just kind of want to leave everyone with the thought that yes, there are objections. We do need to enroll people. We should always be enrolling people, adding people to our list, prospecting, getting better at handling objections and getting people enrolled. And if you need help with that, get some help with it. All right? Really work on it. And work on it, I think, by talking to a lot of people. But right now, our goal is to get you to director, and that means promoting consultants. So if you look at it this way, if you're having trouble enrolling people and you're telegraphing that somehow in your energy, your people are going to have trouble finding 2 people, and so on. And so on. Mm-hmm. So that is the foundation of our business. And if I couldn't enroll anyone, I'm really going to have a hard time getting my people to enroll people.
Exactly.
That makes sense?
Perfect.
So I know that that's all part of it, but really get comfortable with it. But right now, I want you to think about that, because that's what we're doing here. We're trying to get as many people to director as possible, and really be honest with yourself. If that's where you're struggling, director is going to be way too far away for you right now, especially in 2 weeks.
Right. So what we decided to do is kind of like the 90-day game plan. We wanted to do something to incentivize you guys and get you something to, I know for me, dangle a carrot, and I'm going for it.
Or nice delight.
Or nice delight.
Dangle. I'm going for it.
Sea salt caramels in front of me. I'll do just about anything except jump out of a plane. But anyway, we are rewarding creating consultants and creating consultants only, because that is what will get you to director. So we're going to put a post out, and we're going to ask you how many consultants you've created, going from Monday, which was the 20 what here? Let's see. Each week we're going to do it. Each week we'll do a drawing. So it started.
But I think we should backdate it, because when did we start this group?
The 25th. Well, that's when it was. I mean, we got the Facebook group going a couple days before that, but the kickoff was the 25th.
Can we backdate it to the day we started the group?
Oh, fine.
Okay.
Make it complicated. Okay, so whatever. We'll post it. We'll post the details. But we want you to share with us your consultant that you promoted. You don't have to put the name, but I promoted 1 consultant this week. Just do that. And each week we'll do a drawing. And that will help keep us accountable, because if you're not creating consultants, we know it's going to be harder to get to director, and you're going to have your work cut out for you. We don't want you all waiting till the last minute on the last night to do this. So we're going to reward you for that. So each week we'll do a drawing until May 14th.
Great.
Okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a great day.
All right. Bye.
Bye.